What's up, my peoples? It is your boy AMG here, and today we are talking about episode 12 of The Rising of Shield Hero, titled The Raven Invader. Now, we start off on this episode from where we left off last episode, which, I'm loving that they continue from where the last episode started off from. It is when the Ravenhead lady named Glass comes in and says she wants to fight Nifune. She says that every other hero there does not deserve to be called a hero, that he is the only one. And I'm guessing the reason why she's saying that is because, every other hero there are kind of, doing it for their own personal interest. They're not actually doing it for themselves, and then other people are actually doing it so the king can keep his hold on the country, and not specifically just to save people. None of them really save people. They just want the challenge of whatever monster that is in the way of those people that are keeping them from, being happy. Like we seen with the dragon, that the sword hero killed the dragon, but he didn't clean up the mess, so he didn't really care about the people. He just wanted the challenge. But anyway, moving on. So she tries to fight Nifune. Now, she's very powerful. We seen that last episode where she, came down and hit the monster with 3 strikes and it was killed. It was just like one shot kill, basically. And Nifune is like, whoa, she's strong. And she calls, everybody else. She's like, hey, how about you give your servants a chance to come at me? And she was talking about the shield hero and everybody else there. Well, the spear hero and everybody else there. And I was like, that's funny. So he got the spear hero, the sword hero, and the bow and arrow hero. She called them all his servants and the people who were under him. And they got mad, so they tried to attack her. They used their strongest attack, and she just brushed them off like, man, get out of here. This ain't gonna do nothing to me. Like, don't you know I am the queen? Really? No, she wasn't the queen, but I'm just talking stuff, But anyway, she goes off on them and then smacks them to the side, all of them in like one hit, and I'm just like, yow. And there was at least, I want to say at least 20 people surrounding her, and she just smacked them all away. And then we see Raptalia and we see Philo try to attack her, but their attacks are not doing anything either. Then we see Nifune try to attack, and he's not really able to do anything either. Now they're fighting back and forth, but he's not really putting a dent in her, and then her power is not really putting a dent in him either. So just to know how strong that shield is, without him even be at a top level, Nifune right now is level 38, and he's able to keep her from, defeating him. So that means if he actually got up to a higher level, if he got to the level wherever level she's at, then he could probably wash her easily. That's crazy, just to think that probably his base level is way stronger than what she is. Now, after the fight, and they try to run away because they can't defeat her, Nifune has Raptalia use her light magic. She blinds Glass. They jump on Philo and they hop off and run away. Now, as they're doing this, she tries to shoot at him. And we find out that she can only stay in the world with the time limit of the catastrophe waves. So apparently she's linked to that world. And I wonder what would happen if she stayed over there when the catastrophe waves closed. That's an interesting point. So, keep that in the back of your head. And then there's another thing. She tried to shoot them. When she's shooting them, she can't get them at long range. And she says something weird just before she jumps back into the catastrophe portal. She says, remember, we shall be triumphant from the waves. And I'm like, what does that mean? Are you not really an enemy? Maybe you've been, forced back in there, and really there's just all kinds of monsters and yokais. Because I want to say yokais because if you see how she's dressed like a traditional Japanese person. Like, she's wearing like, the attire, and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. Why is she dressed like that if over here in this world is medieval? That's an interesting topic right there. That's very interesting that you guys need to keep that in the back of your head as well. Why is she dressed like that? Why did she say that? Because that is, something that I just don't, we're not getting information about right now. So it's just something that you guys should just remember and just keep close to your thoughts, because that is very interesting. And then after she leaves, she jumps back in the portal, and she says, if you don't get stronger, you're not going to live to our next encounter. Why does you care about that? That's another interesting topic. Why does she care that he's actually hero? Interesting. Now let's move on. Now he's sitting at the village, smiling, seeing everybody getting repaired and everybody getting healed. And we see the boy who was part of his Nafune's troop now. And he comes with the guard captain. He comes with him and says, yo, the king wants you to come to the palace. Now, Nafune is like, what? Nafune goes to the palace because the little boy of his group is like, please go, please, please, please go. So Nafune goes, which is kind of funny. And he goes there, and the king starts talking trash like normal. He says, how did you obtain this power? He was like, it is your duty to tell me how you obtain this power. And I'm like, it's my duty, dude. You've been trashing me this whole time and acting like I was garbage. And now you want me to tell you how I got this power when you didn't believe me in the first place? Which means, if you already knew about the Shield Hero, then the last Shield Hero didn't go that far with his power, it wasn't documented, or you didn't care enough that the Shield Hero just left wherever you guys were, so you wouldn't care, or he died early, so you would never even think he was powerful, period. So that's crazy for me to think. And it makes me wonder, if you already knew about them, all the heroes, then how long ago was it that you guys got heroes before them? How long ago was it that you had 4 heroes come before? That you have this knowledge? Interesting. Or how many times has it happened? How many times has this catastrophe kept on going on? Is it directly after the heroes died, you brought in new ones? Like, what's going on with that? Or is it every couple of years that these catastrophes start? Or is this the first time those catastrophes start? But it can't be the first time because they already knew about it. So, interesting right there. Well, we go there and Nafune goes there. And dude's like, King's like, yo, you gonna tell me what this is? And if he's like, I ain't gonna tell you nothing. I don't gotta tell you nothing. He was like, back in my area where I'm from, if people want information, they bow down and grovel at their feet. And everyone's like, what? He's the king. What you talking about, boy? And the fool's like, you ain't gonna do it though, are you? And the king's like, blasphemous. How dare you say I'm going to do that? I'm not going to do that. You're going to do whatever I say because I'm the king. And the king's like, bro, I don't care about you. He's like, I'm gone. Whatever. And he leaves. He tries to leave. And then the guards surround him. And he's like, yo, y'all do know that I just killed the strongest person, the strongest monster in the waves. I could literally take you out easily. Like, I don't even know why you're coming at me sideways because you don't have a chance. And the king's like, you wouldn't do that. He was like, try me. And Nafune just walked away. And he was like, okay. The king's like, okay, yo, if you don't want to listen to what I say, then I'll come after your slaves and stuff. And Nafune turns around and gives him this scary look. Basically, let's say it's One Piece. He gave him the king's haki. Like, boy, I dare you to try. I dare you to try. Like the look that Luffy gave the Celestial Dragon and Sabaody. He's like, yo, I dare you to try to mess with my people. My friends, I will kill you. I don't care. I'll chase you to the ends of the earth. You better keep your hands off them or I'm coming at you full force. I don't care no more. Nafune came in there and was like, you know what? I don't care what you say no more. I'm a traveling merchant. I get my money from them. There's nothing that you can give me that I can't get by myself. Period. So, that's funny as hell. Then we leave, and Melty goes in there. It's like, Father, what are you doing? Why are you acting stupid? You should be fighting with the Shield Hero. He pretty much is the only one who could defeat the monsters. Everybody else wasn't able to. He's really our only chance. If we don't console with him, then our country is going to die. And he's like, but I can't, I hate him. He was like, I just don't want to lose my family again. What does that mean? So there could be an underlying reason why he actually hates the Shield Hero and not because of just him being weak. Interesting. Remember that too. Okay. That's 3 plot points that we need to remember for the further of the episodes of the stories. Or if you read the manga and you started recently. Interesting. Moving on. Now, we see that, stupid redhead comes in and talking that nonsense. And we see Melty's like, your opinion don't even matter. Like, I am the crown princess. You're nobody, really. You're just the second princess, so whatever. Anyway, moving on. Nobody cares about you. And Nafune goes to the weapon shop's owner. The weapon shop's owner is like, yo, we know that you're trying to upgrade your power, and there's nowhere for you to go. You can't come here because we already know that was a problem because the king said you couldn't do it. So you need to go to different countries. Nefune said he was going to go to these 2 countries, and he was going to go to Freeshield. Now they're going there, and the thing about that place is that kingdom, they are demi-humans, and they're nice to humans as well. And we know Nefune is nice to humans as well. So that is going to be the, the lore of the Shield Hero being great to him, which means something else because they said the Shield Hero was always known to be nice to demi-humans. So either this is a redo, like the paradox. It's a paradox where he is transported there, he dies and gets transported there again, and just stuff keeps on happening, and he doesn't remember what happens. Or every Shield Hero has the same type of personality where they're just good people in general, and they feel like people shouldn't be treated a certain way. That's interesting. That really is. I really want to know more behind the lore of the people before them, or how it came to be in the first place. Interesting. Anyway, so we see that the weapon shop's owner actually, fills him up. He gives him all kinds of stuff for his journey, gives him extra stuff. Gives Nefune a gadget so he can analyze stuff with his shield. Gives Raftia a new sword and another sword that is like energy based if the monsters don't have a physical body. So like if we're talking Pokemon wise, they have like a ghost type body, so physical attacks won't really work on them. So you have to use like a energy or a spirit sword. So basically she's Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho. That's what she is really. But anyway, then we see Philo gets gloves. Now the gloves make her 100 times more powerful than what she actually is. So if she gets tired, even Nefune can carry the carriage, and when he will get that strength. That is crazy. That is dope. The weapon shop's owner is a really good guy. It's funny how he treated him dirty before. Not even dirty. He thought like all the other people in the kingdom. And then he looked in his eyes and was like, "Oh, you didn't do that. Okay." He's really one of his true friends, and I love that. So as they're leaving to go, we see Melty catches up back with him. And Melty says, "Yo, you need to reconsole with my father. You need to apologize so you can just keep this stuff together and be good to each other, because we have to work together." And the fool was like, "I ain't gotta worry about y'all." He was like, "Bro, I'm powerful enough. You guys don't give me anything. You barely give me enough money to live. I get my money being a merchant. Like, I don't care about you." And she just throws a tantrum. "If you don't, reconcile with him, then he's gonna get yelled at by mom." Which means the queen is the true person in power. So it means I think that the father was actually married into the family, and the mother was actually the crowned, ruler of the kingdom. And he just came in because he married her, and that's it. Usually those kings don't really have any power at all. It's really the queen who has the power, and they make the queen get married. They make her get married before she can become the queen. Basically what that was. That's what it seems like. Like he's just a hollow figurehead. That's what it looks like. And so Nefune's like, this seems like a setup. It doesn't seem, it feels just like it did when it felt like that they said he, did that to the redhead girl in the beginning of the series. And they're holding their lacrima, which is that, crystal ball that shows, what's going on. So basically it's like a two-way camera, basically is what it is. And he's like, "Yo, this doesn't feel right." He sees the dude pull out a sword, and he tries to kill Melty, which I'm pretty sure the redhead sister is the reason why that happened, because she hates Melty because she treats her like garbage, because Melty's like, "Girl, you stupid, I don't even care what you're saying." So she tries to get killed, and Nefune blocks the hit, and grabs Melty. So come to find out, there is going to be a coup d'etat assassination plot. So basically this is going to turn into some what is it called, Game of Thrones type stuff. So let's get ready for that, people. Anyway, that is the end of my review. Like if you liked the video, leave a comment down below if you have anything to say, or you want to debate my opinions. I am AMG, and remember, anime, manga, and gaming is all that. And I'm out. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.